Welcome back to Be the Man. We're about to have another inspection. This will be one of our most important inspections so far. We've had the hive for about 2 months. It's been 13 days since we've been in the hive this time. We've been feeding about a quart of sugar water every other day to kind of supplement what they're doing. But I've noticed they're bringing a lot of pollen in, so we're really expecting to see some growth. I wanted to point out that we've been busy in the bee shop. I've added some medium supers and some brood boxes and some top covers. I actually bought some store-bought hives. Store-bought frames. Put together a box for our supplies. We got another big box here for brood. Hope to be adding that today, but we'll find out. So always something to do, especially when you're gearing up for beekeeping. And we'll be back in just a moment. I'll see you down at the hive. All right, here we are at the hive. We're getting ready for an inspection. This will be the first one in about 13 days. A lot of activity around the front of the hive here. You can't see just yet. I'm gonna put a little smoke in the entrance, a little smoke under the lid, and then we'll open the hive up here in just a minute and see what we find. Hopefully we see a big difference from 2 weeks ago. All right, this is frame number 1, and we have some new comb that's built there. They're beginning to go to work on that. It's a little funny because there's some comb kind of underneath the comb. I don't really know why they've done that, but they did, so that's all right. It's their hive. So I'm gonna set this down, and let's just remember that that's frame number 1, and we'll keep that just like that. Looking at frame number 2, I'll take probably 2 frames out. The rest of them I'll just kind of move over, give myself a little room, and to see what I've got. Boy, this frame here, if I remember right, didn't have a lot of activity on it last week, but boy, it does now. And let's look at this frame. I'm gonna look from the back side. Boy, they've built all that comb. See that? All that's new from last week. Boy, that's a lot of activity, and you see there's honey in there. This is a honeycomb for them and a honey super where they're storing honey. You can see it's not really been capped, but it's there. And the queen's nowhere to be found there either. I'm gonna leave this one out just to give me a little more room. So I'm gonna set there, little bees, for just a little bit. So, all right, if you can come over with the camera, and I want you to look at this hive, and we've got a lot of burr on this frame. See the excess honey that's all capped? They have just been making honey like crazy. It looks like I am going to be able to add a frame or add a box this time, which is what I was hoping to do. I'm going to pull this one out so we can see it, and I'll put it right back in. Well, there's a lot of bees and a lot of honey, and this excess honey up on the top is called, our excess comb is called burr comb, because we really don't want it, or that it's kind of where it's not supposed to be. I'm looking for the queen. I don't see her here. Boy, there's a lot of honey. I don't really know what to do with that, because it's kind of not where it's supposed to be. And all that brown covered is capped brood, which is where they're raising bees. And that's really good. It's a lot fuller than it's been at our previous inspections. So that looks really good. That's a full frame of bees there. I'm gonna slide this back in as carefully and gently as I can. Don't want to harm any of the bees. And all right, let's go. That was frame number 3 that's just really packed at this point. So far, I'm really excited about what I'm seeing. This one is really heavy, and you can tell by how much they weigh as to if it's honey. Has a lot of honey on it, and this one does. Uh-oh, well, they don't like that. There we go. Now, this is a great frame. a brood. My eyes aren't good enough to see eggs. Well, a lot of burr comb on the bottom of that. It's was really not supposed to be. Do you happen to see the queen anywhere? You see the queen? I don't see her. And this one's happy. Oh wow, look at this. Look at that. Look how much that pattern is now. You remember how that wasn't near that full last time? And now we have all that capped brood. We should see the queen here shortly. Well, if you can look at that bee right there on that corner, kind of where my finger is, you can see pollen all on him. See the orange pollen? Do you see it on his legs there? Right there? Can you see that? Wow, that's how much pollen that dude's bringing in. They're working hard. And these bees, some of them have their heads stuck down in the comb, others don't. Little bee, come on, buddy. All right, I've got the next frame of bees out, and again, you see a full, nice pattern of brood, and a lot more brood than we had last time. And I'm still looking for the queen. Not a lot of capped brood on this one. So they may have already hatched from last time. Let's remember this. This is frame 1, 2, 3, 4. This is frame 6. And not a whole lot of capped brood on this one. And I still don't see the queen. And that's okay. I'm not terribly concerned about it. All right. Let's go back in there, little bees. As gently as we can. All right, now we're taking out number 7. Warm day to be doing this. Uh-oh. But beekeeping doesn't take a day off. Just like it could be some kind of comedy show where you can't. Wow, this one is the heaviest one yet. Oh wow, look at this. What's on that side? Look at that. See all that? That's fresh new comb. This frame didn't have really any new comb on it last time, if you remember. I can't see that side very well. I'm gonna turn and look at this. Look at all that at the top. That's all honey that's been capped. And down below is honey that they haven't capped yet. But there's really no brood in this. This is all honey. It's like a half full frame of honey. And this that I'm holding probably weighs 10 or 12 pounds. It's pretty heavy. Do you see the queen on that side by chance? I don't see her, and I really wouldn't expect to see her there. Well, let's go. This is 8, 9, and 10. Probably just going to raise these up real quickly and put them right back down. I don't think there's a whole lot of activity on these. Haven't really started much on that one. I can see the next one, they haven't done much on it either. Really no activity there to speak of. Adding the 2 center frames into my top box that I'm adding. Slide that frame over, please, just out of the way for me. There we go. I'm going to put this frame in, that's okay now. And just kind of gonna, this will encourage them to come up to the top box because there's going to be activity there already. So I'm going to put 2 in like that, kind of 2 that were heavy and that I know they were working on. So, and they can move freely between the boxes. So that's not an issue for them. There's a lot of stuff on the bottom there, I don't know. All right, so here we go. This is in frame number. This will be the second frame of the new box that's there. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just move these other frames over, slide these back in where they were, and we'll put the top box on, and we'll be done. Well, there's a lot of pollen on some of these bees. I can really see it. Kind of encouraged by that. We've been feeding them, and it seems to be working. All right, well, we've kind of reached a milestone with Be the Man hive number 1, and that we've now added a second box. We're still feeding the bees. We had 60% at least full below. So between 60 and 70% they say to add a box, so we added one. I moved the 2 center frames up to encourage them to come up and kind of spread the work out. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, this is June 28th, I think. And so we're getting close to, it's going to dry up around here in a little bit, so we'll still be feeding for a bit. But this has been a good day. So for Be the Man, thanks and join us next time.